Okay.
We're standing up for our right to be lazy.
By sitting down.
Advertising that.
We work full time and parent full time.
Hematidrosis. Oh, one.
God, let me miss his voice. All right. Hopefully the live stream is working properly, which I doubt it won't. I'm trying to think. I don't know how to do this. Shit, like I did last time. And down below, thank you for giving me the like. That means a lot. I thought I could just push that aside because I was pushing myself too much, and talk about my mental health will probably be much more healthier, especially since I know that Global hopefully he's doing okay, because I know he has a lot going through, which I get why he's not on here. Because he prefers like me. Well, that's what he likes. And I'm gonna take note on that. Gay topics and mental health as well. And you voted IHOP since that's the only one that you had. I never ate an IHOP. This is something random that I chose. But that's also that you actually ate there, because I'm surprised you ever ate Denny's. And I'm glad the stream is working because I ate at Denny's a few times with my mother. I think I like an old video, like when we were eating like at the restaurant together. They were really nice. Honestly, I know there's like one incident to me I shouldn't be filming though. Like you can, but maybe it depends on the restaurant's policy. But the one that we went to was really nice about it. Especially during my birthday and whatnot. I'm trying to think like I want to do the little dice thing again and hope to Buddha that others will join in. I'm surprised Darren hasn't been on here. He has to go to bed soon. And Stolas, he hasn't been on here for quite some time either. I know he has other stuff going through, so I can see why that the live stream is like a little empty. I couldn't think of what to write down. No. Oh, DNS, right. We're doing like the little guessing game again. Oh, I know. I'm gonna play this in the back while I'm thinking. This is much better than just force myself to do reactions. It's not helping me.
Good amount of razor bumps all over their bodies because of constantly trying to shave it off. It is a genetic disorder that can appear not only at birth, but during puberty or even later in life due to various factors like malnutrition, medications, or other diseases. On the bright side, it is a totally unique experience, and if you are ever writing a pros and cons list, you should consider the fact that you have a permanent built-in
See, that's the one I've seen yet.
place or a single tooth.
Hyperdontia?
Now, this condition.
Oh yeah, that's what we have over. Did I solve this list already? Damn it! I think I did.
I'll only to pop back up when you least expect it. There's also no specific cause for it, so it could really just be a glitch that slows down the energy levels of your brain's nerves. With the right treatment and a healthy dose of.
Wait, what's Todd syndrome? It's a cool name for it. I forgot what Todd syndrome is.
It seems distorted and unreal, like you're living in a dream. You see strange creatures and people, and you start to wonder if you're going crazy. You are not alone, because about 200 other people worldwide are experiencing the same exact symptoms. And it's a rare condition known as Todd syndrome or Alice in Wonderland syndrome. This condition affects how your brain perceives reality. It's kind of like having imaginary friends, but instead of just seeing them, you're living in their unreal world too. That's practically all in your head. It's a strange and disorienting feeling, but over time, the symptoms fade away. You'll be back to your normal self. Of course, that doesn't mean it can't come back. Todd syndrome is a bit like mischievous cat. It can disappear for a while, only to pop back up when you least expect it. There's also no specific cause for it, so it
That's a cool name, Todd syndrome. I kind of looked it up. I'm so sorry, dumb about for being because of my ADHD. If anyone's viewing this, I act like this a lot because the thing is, it is hard for me to concentrate because I always feel that I'm a boring person, which I know I kind of am. And I easily, because people don't usually take time just to like hear me or like to talk. This happens all the time. Even growing up, I thought I could share this while writing down the dice game here. Like whenever I try to interact with people, I always get ignored. They don't give me eye contact, and sometimes I feel that I waste people's time. So that's why for me, like not I mean, not only because of my autistic trait, but like it's hard for me to like I guess you could say interact like I'm doing a live stream because people don't really take the time to interact with me.
principal de muchos problemas de
I'm sorry, that's so cool. I gotta finish that.
Sarah? Good luck.
Listo para el dentista con Colgate y todo.
Wait, okay, they're American, but why is he out in Spanish? That's pretty cool.
Alice in Wonderland. A little girl in a blue dress follows a white rabbit down a hole and is suddenly thrown into this psychedelic world. She shrinks and grows, sings with flowers, meets the world's creepiest cat, and explodes out of the
I'm
house.
watching Life
No one
Noggin.
really agrees
I know
on
people don't
what
like
Lewis
this channel, but I
was
don't
getting
care.
at when he wrote the Alice in Wonderland story, but some believe he had a condition that literally makes people see life like this. It can manifest in a bunch of mind-boggling ways, but it's not about hallucinations. It's about your perception of the world around you. People with this rare condition experience temporary episodes where they perceive the world very differently than the average person.
Right.
Typically, they last anywhere from a few minutes to a few days.
Right.
Vision, hearing, feeling of touch, and
What?
understanding of time can all be affected in various ways. Say someone's hanging out in their kitchen and an Alice in Wonderland episode suddenly comes on. Something like the clock hanging on their wall could become so huge it takes up half the wall.
Yes!
You could suddenly see
I wonder if I may have. I don't think I have this. Yeah, call me like Dion. You're faking. I don't know why. I always felt like if I have this condition, like my clothes that I will wear, I feel like they're too small, but then the next day they're huge on me. Like because people are thinking, oh, Dion, maybe I don't know. I wonder if I experienced this before. Basically, Alice in Wonderland. It's called Alice in Wonderland syndrome, right? Basically, it's when you see something that like it's like you're thinking that everything is much bigger when it isn't, and then is the other way. I wonder if I feel this way because this is extremely rare, right? And you don't want to have this syndrome, honestly. I get why people say that. And that's 5 years ago. This is interesting. I had this when I was a kid, yeah. And it says here a few hundred or thousands, right? You mean extremely rare then? My husband had this since he was a kid. Every time he gets migraine headaches, it could last 10 days or longer. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't think I have this then. It's so cool to learn about it.
like you're seeing the world from a bug's eye view, or one of your body parts might shrink in size dramatically. Time can even speed up or slow down. You might even feel like you're floating in mid-air. Half the time, this Alice in Wonderland syndrome happens on its own, and it isn't linked with any other conditions. But sometimes it's connected to physical disorders like migraines, epilepsy, infections, depression, or encephalitis, which is inflammation of the brain.
Depression?
Scientific understanding of this phenomenon is still in its very early stages. It's thought to be very underreported, making it even harder to study.
Right.
It's not clear how many people have it, and it's not currently recognized as a neurological disorder or a psychiatric illness. It's kind of in a gray area. It seems to be more prevalent in children, but this condition
Mhm.
doesn't appear to be particularly dangerous or painful.
Right.
Granted, if the symptoms are followed by migraines, which they often are in about 15% of people with this phenomenon, then they may be preceded by pain. But the Alice in Wonderland experience itself doesn't really seem to be alarming scientists at this point in time. Studies on this phenomenon are few and far between. But what have they found out? Scientists know
Okay.
that this syndrome is based in processing perception. Parts of the brain involved in this mechanism are thought to be the temporal-parietal junction and the occipital, frontal, and temporal lobes. Some of these areas experience decreased blood flow in people with Alice in Wonderland syndrome. And at least one study of an MRI during an episode showed electrical activity created abnormal blood flow in the specific parts of the brain that process texture, shape, size, and that control vision. There aren't any treatments or cure for this condition, but if it's accompanied by another more serious condition, your doctor may suggest treating that to see if your perception goes back to normal. Are there any other phenomenon you want us to look into? Let us know in the comments section.
Interesting. I'm surprised this came out 6 years ago. Anyway, it's kind of ironic. There's only 2 of you. And Darren, you don't have to worry about it. I decided to stop doing it because it wasn't benefiting me, and I thought took up my mental for just random topics. I know that won't get my channel see more. I don't want to get burned out and get I'm so tired. But I just want to just be express myself and having to force myself just to get viewers on here and getting like a meltdown. I don't want that happening again. I guess some YouTubers are just lucky and got uniqueness for it. Yeah, and people treat you like that as well. Yeah. Oh god, maybe because I'm not eating much. Maybe that's why I'm tired, but we're struggling as well. I eat a sausage. The thing is, it's ironic because we're, since we've been like really tight on money and all, I've only been eating 1 sausage a day, right? I would eat more of them. That's why I still got plenty of them in my freezer because those have to last, or I'm actually out of luck. So, and I can see your messages done, but you don't have to worry. I'm sorry, I just want to shut up very quick. I know it's not doing well, but it's really interesting. When are you 100% dead, huh? Wow, what happened to this channel? People like it anymore. Excuse me. See, the thing is, I'm trying to I did my best to write down 6 things, though. It's hard to think what to write down because I can't really think what to write. So I just have to make the best of it. And Darren, I forgot you got an hour and a half with me. So yeah, it's let me wait, hold on. How much is too much? Stretchers because I'm on the road. Sambucha upload again. Basically, I'll probably do this for like 10 minutes and then we can take like a media break. The first one that I wrote down, and you can see the other list of so that video that I did, right? Of the future predictions, just because I thought that was fun to do that. These are supposed to be the Nintendo character, like you guessing them, right? Guessing the color, guessing the mental disorder. I thought that'd be interesting. Guessing a cartoon character, guessing the movie, and then guessing the country. So I'm gonna roll this dice again, and that way we could get started. Oh man, I'm so tired. I don't think I'm eating enough. Maybe that has to do with it. Anyway, yep. So to speak. All right. Well, that doesn't count. Oh shit. Hold on. 4. Sorry for the dirty ball. Okay. So number 4 is cartoon character. All right, let me try to start fresh. So I'll do up to 4, then we can take a little break. How did I want it before? Oh yeah, that's right. You want the number, then the noun. All right, so this is for 1 point, right? This should be quite easy. I think both of you may guess it right. So I'm a blue cat I'm a blue cat. That's all I can tell you. I'm a blue cat. Can you guess what character that is? Because the thing is, how I'm going to do it, like if it's 2 points, it'd be 2 guesses. If it's 3 points, it'll be 3 guesses, and then if it's up to 4 points, then it's 4 guesses, which is extremely hard. Yep. So you got to guess the cartoon character that are down. So it's a blue cat. Did the live stream just froze? The live stream froze, didn't it?
Schools in the world. So some schools in the Philippines require students to wear these custom headgears during tests to prevent them from cheating.
Oh, man, the Philippines have a great idea for that. And Dumbo, you guessed right. Yep, it was Gumball, actually. I'm so tired. Wednesday, January 15th. There we go. I think the live stream froze because it says 15:45. Is the live stream not working? Yep. So that Darren, I'll give you a point too. Nico Watterson. I mean, it could go both ways because I thought I made this easy. So both of you guessed right. Yep, it's Nicole Watterson or Gumball. Either way is totally fine. So both of you actually guessed right. Oh, so his live streams don't do good. What? Oh my god. What's he doing in Greenland? I think I found another interesting channel to watch later on. I'm sorry, it's another traveling channel. Wait, very quick, right? His name is Nick Shirley, and he did a video about asking Greenlanders about becoming part of the U.S. That is so interesting. Oh my gosh. Should the U.S. I don't think they should, though. Honestly. Wow. So it's like he's not a journalist, but I guess he is. So that's interesting. So if he interviews one of so many people, that would be 1% of Greenland. Interesting. I might need to check out this channel later, though. Oh, I always want to do videos like this. I'm so sorry about that. God, I always want to go to Greenland. God, it's such a beautiful country as well, though. I mean, Greenland doesn't have many people, like only 60,000? It's kind of cool to see a view like this. And their English is really good, too. Honestly. Oh, no. What was this channel name? I forgot. Nick Shirley, right? Because he did a video about my state, too. I'm so sorry about, honestly. See, this is what I hate about my ADHD, because I get distracted. Oh, great. So the stream wasn't working. Well, so much for this damn MacBook. Pardon my language. No wonder I used to get distracted, because my MacBook doesn't cooperate with me. He did a video of my state, though? Oh, I want to see. I want to see. So, yes, 335,000 subs. His live stream, I guess he gets number that live streams don't do well though, because he doesn't get much. But he did one of my, oh god, so he travels. I'm curious because, man, I saw my state. I'm thinking I'm going to click on it. The Forgotten People of the Desert. I want to see. And surprisingly, I have 16,000 views on it. So no wonder my live streams don't do well. Okay. That makes sense. I always keep forgetting that live streams don't do well. Oh, that's my city, all right.
Downtown.
Yeah, it is downtown.
Things are going on, sir.
Oh, our sky's beautiful.
How long are you doing that video for? Yeah. Okay, very cool. Very cool.
It's amazing it's a live stream, but the quality is so clean.
Yes, sir, they say this is kind of the people out here have been forgotten. The people out here in the desert. Okay. Would you say a lot of people have been forgotten about? They're out here in the hot desert right now, or in the winter, and it's about. I think so. Yeah. I think so. What can we expect to see today? We're gonna go down the street.
We're breaking workers for how hot it is. Yeah. Yeah, we are above average temperature-wise.
Well, we're gonna make sure we stay safe. And do our best. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, sir. All right. Have a great rest of your day. All righty, guys. We're down here, Phoenix, Arizona. Let's see what's going on here today, chat. Let's see. We got some.
God, we are so. Yeah, that's. I forgot how big our state is. Oh my god! I know water I walk so much. Yeah, we're so spacey. I'm so sorry about I am.
Starting off strong with our first interview right there.
That person's probably homeless. Yep, that's the airplane going to the Sky Harbor Airport. This is such a cool channel, though.
The thing in the what? The what? The woman. The woman. I don't think women have. Oh wow, what's your name? Fernando. What are you up to today?
Yeah, I can multitask.
What's going on out here?
I'm so sorry about. This channel just popped up. You know how I am obsessed with geography and like I'm thinking, oh, I want to travel. I try to avoid those channels because it's a jealousy thing in a good way because it makes me wanted to study more languages. It makes me wanted to travel more. That's why I try to avoid those because they give me ideas. You know, especially since he traveled to Greenland. I always want to go to Greenland. You know, because they're supposed to be a Danish territory. I think they should be considered as their own country, in my opinion. Honestly, if Iceland can be their own country, then why can't Greenland be? I'm so sorry. We can still continue with the dice thing because I can multitask. So the next one is 2. Oh, I see those emojis. I see them. Forgot how you both know that I'm how much I love my state. So you got to guess the color. So this color, it's I forgot because I could describe it. I'll make this a little bit harder very quick, and then I'll watch like a couple more minutes of it for you both to guess. This color, I don't know how to explain it. Let's just say, oh wait, I'll be writing it. You have to guess, right? It's really common. Oh god, I don't know. Like, this color you would see. Oh god, I'm terrible at colors. This character, they could shoot. Damn it. All right, it's from a game. All right, this one's gonna be pretty hard, so I'm gonna make it 3. It's from a video game. Well, it's from a game. They shoot it from their fingertips. And it's like a cylinder shape. Oh wait, no, that's the video game character, isn't it? Okay, well, this character, they shoot lasers from their fingers, and it's a game. What color do they shoot out of it? So this one you gotta guess for 3 points, right? So that one would be a little hard. Dumbo, you're close. It's not blue. It's not blue. And it's cold and you're outside to hear that. It's not. You're close though. There's a word before before blue, so to speak.
And then, how much is rent cost out here?
Darren got it right. It's light blue. It's light blue. But you know what, Dumbo? I'll give you 2. Honestly. I know that one's pretty tough. All right, I can do another one. Yeah, it was actually light blue, Dumbo, but I just had to give you 2 points for it, so to speak. Oh, we got a 6. So this one would be a country. Okay, this would be a little interesting. So you got to guess what country I'm going to write down, or the name of it. I'll make this kind of hard. This country is kind of hated, but Darren may know what country this is. They wanted to have the retirement age lowered, and let's just say they're known for having a lot of protests. I thought that one would be a little bit more difficult. Hopefully the MacBook doesn't keep lagging so darn much. It didn't let you type? I don't know why, Dumbo. I hate. It's either my MacBook that's causing it or YouTube itself.
Is this your first time being homeless? No. So it's happened before.
I like his tats.
And what caused you to, I don't want to use the word relapse. I don't know if that's the right word. And,
some people had really convinced me Arizona was the best place to live.
And so would you say drugs?
It's not. Oh, this person's from Oregon.
And, how long have you been using that thing? About 45. Oh, wow. 30 years.
I'm sorry when people who have been in the States. Nope, it's not Dumbo and Darren. Is that Switzerland? And you saw the number. That's good. It's not Switzerland. It's not South Korea. You both can guess 2 more times, and if you can't guess it, I could give you a hint, which I'll put it down to 2 points. Of course. Yeah, it's a shame, though. I don't know why that's a thing out here, though. It's terrible. But if anyone else is watching, we're just playing a dice game, and I'm just watching this live stream. He's pretty cute, actually. That does he's like he kind of does journalism. The reason why I'm so like hooked, I guess they call it, is because I love traveling, and I get distracted easily when I see videos like this because it's like my interest. Anyway. You can see the number 6, Darren. That's good. I think my MacBook is freezing. Yep, it's really acting up.
Oh wow. Thank you so much for your time, sir. We're gonna head down this way and see what's going on. It's hot out here.
Of course.
And what do you guys do during the summer? Because I mean, we're in the winter right now.
Well, normally we stay in for AC, but we still go out for activities, which most people in the country don't got.
Yeah. Hopefully you're not out here by then, right? No. Is it? Say somebody used to do drugs here in the middle of the street. Do they get charged with a crime or? Yeah. And then do they get taken to a jail? Or? Okay, so you're not allowed to openly do drugs here on the street.
Well, you shouldn't. That's one thing.
Okay, that's good because
You forgot that Oregon exists, Dumbo? Really? I mean, Oregon. I mean, if you think about the Disney show or cartoon Gravity Falls, a lot of people know about Oregon. I'm shocked. And it's not Brazil. It's not Russia. I'm surprised. This one must be really hard. So you both can guess once more, and I'll give you a hint.
Enables them to continue.
No, you're not doing it anyway. You're a good place to violence.
Yeah.
I do like what he's doing now. Oh, I got an ad. Oh, I can't wait for this channel. I try to escape from these because, damn it, they make me have an urge to, like, if I had the money right now, I would love to just try to interview with people. It's such a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just talks to like random people. Are these wait? Not all of them are homeless, I believe. I know it's hard, isn't it? Saudi Arabia, it's not Dumbo. I'll let Darren guess. If he doesn't know, I'll drop in the hint.
Really?
He does a good job. And he interviews a lot of people, though. This is awesome. Our state looks so beautiful, though. That's our son.
Yeah.
So he not only did that, that's a live stream version, of course. He even went to New Orleans. That's nice. This is such a damn cool channel, though. And Darren is not North Korea. So the hint is that this country used to fight with the British. So I know Darren can guess. This country used to fight with the British, if I recall. Hopefully that'll give it away. Asking Canadians about becoming the 51st state. Homeless camp in the woods. Seattle's definitely job crisis. Did you remember? Oh my God, in New York? So does he do? Oh God, he even went to Ukraine? Venezuelan migrants. Oh God, I gotta get away from this channel because it makes me have an urge just to travel so badly if I could. So this country used to fight with the British.
Oh, between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, who would you vote for?
Trump is a great guy, but the Russian side is a problem.
Oh, Darren, no, it's not India. Oh man. Okay. I'll put it down to 1 point. All right. So this country, they're known for having delicious bread. Does that ring? Does that sound familiar? This country basically is known for having delicious bread. I think. It's okay, Dumbo. I know it's a tough one, isn't it? God, so if I could ever vote for Trump, that's something.
I think life will be the better, but for us, I don't think so.
Ukraine looks really like outgoing.
Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? Donald Trump. Really? It was the first one I've heard say that today.
Oh, yeah, it's the Ukraine capital, Kiev. Yeah. That's true, though. Which they're doing fine, which is shocking, though. I know the rest of Ukraine isn't.
He's an old-style person, and really looked like the future for the U.S. And when Donald Trump was president.
Yep, Darren, it's France. It's France. Both of you guessed right. It's France. Yep. See? Yeah, because the thing is, to explain, right? A lot of people thinking the French are stuck up. You know, like how they say stupid Americans because if we can't speak French well. Because, I mean, it's a big-ass country. They don't need to worry about speaking another language, of course, right? Even though they are surrounded by Belgium and the Netherlands, right? And Spain. And not to mention, not far from England, but they're still a huge country, so they don't need to worry about that. It's just that, you know, a lot of people thinking, I don't think the French are stuck up. I mean, I met a French woman. She spoke nothing but French. When I used to do soap operas of the Bon and Beautiful in the past, right? She was really sweet. I tried to, like, communicate with her. It was really difficult, though, because the French are known for not speaking English well. Just like us Americans are not known for speaking their language or Spanish. Unless you live, like, in the, like, above the border like me, then, well, you should speak Spanish. At least some. Right? So it's like that, so to speak. And the thing is, I think this happened like last year that they want the retirement age to lower because I think there's like a lot of older French people. That's probably why. And, you know, they were marched throughout Paris or whatever just so that they could actually have rights just to retire early. I remember seeing a video, a documentary about it. That was really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, baguette? Yeah, exactly, Dumbo. I'm glad I gave that away. I should have said that one first, though, but oh well. It's all right. I'll do another one day. We could take a little break. Oh, this one's Snake Eyes. You know, it's not Snake Eyes. So I like to call it that. So this one is the Nintendo character. So I'll make this somewhat easy. But not too easy. Easy enough. I'm an animal that has a shell. I'm an animal that has a shell. And hold on. This one might be a little tricky. All right, I'll make this a little easy. I'm an animal with a shell that... How am I going to do this? I'm an animal with a shell. I just said Nintendo, right? That... Okay, I'm an animal... Excuse me, I'll make this easier. I'm an animal. I think I'm considered as a one. And my shell color is red. Which one am I? This one, I don't want to make this too easy. I'm not. Now, there is two names. If you can guess that right, I'll give either both of you 4 points. If you can only guess one name of it, then I'll just give you the 2 points. Nope, it's not Yoshi. I forgot Yoshi does have a shell, which is really weird. And it's strange because both Brent and Friends... Oh, that's right. Yeah, they were each other's shows for centuries. Yeah, that's true. That is true, Darren, because I know that you love your history, right? So that makes perfect sense. Right. It's not Yoshi, though. And, Dumbo, if you want to guess, that's fine. I mean, both of you get 2 guesses. I forgot Yoshi does have a red shell, doesn't he? Which is really weird. I forgot he does.
Since we're the best with the will support Japan and will help us to
Who would you vote for between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris? So you would vote for Donald Trump? We do have an election coming up between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. If you live in the United States, who would you vote for?
It's a tricky question. I do think that the two-party state of the United States isn't the best solution, to be honest. Me personally, I wouldn't vote for either of them because, well, Donald Trump understands nothing about the economy. He is some sort of leftist-leaning economic issues regarding the preferential treatment to American workers and American industry.
Damn, it sucks we can't get any new viewers on here. I'm like doing the best I can. Maybe I do live stream too much. I'll give you 2 points. Darren, you're close. It's actually Koopa Troopa, but it is a Koopa. So I'm gonna give that to you. I know that was a little tricky, isn't it? But you're really close. You're really close, actually. Hey, mamas. Swing stage. Ooh, what state is that? The Greenland one, it's just, man, it really caught my interest. But I'm kind of curious about the Canadian one. Hopefully the live stream is working.
Why not? It'd be a good thing. You think Trudeau is scared of Donald Trump?
I think so, yeah.
Some of Trump's ideas, I hate to say it, are actually not bad. Today, I'm here in Canada, and we've been asking the Canadians here how they feel about becoming the 51st state. Donald Trump has been teasing the idea for quite some time on social media.
He's in Vancouver.
51st state. He's even gone as far as posting a photo of him on top of the mountain range saying, "Oh, Canada." He is now calling Justin Trudeau the governor of Canada. So there we ask the Canadians here how they feel about becoming the 51st state. And Donald Trump is also talking about buying Greenland and taking back the Panama Canal. So if this video gets 100,000
Yoshi, I know. It was a chicken one, huh? Dumbo, that's all right. You don't have to worry.
Go to Greenland and potentially the Panama Canal. This video, like right now, 100,000 likes. We're going to Greenland. Now let's go talk to people here for Streets of Canada. How do you feel about becoming the 51st state? You think it's pretty insulting that Donald Trump is trying to make Canada 51st state?
He's not trying to make it. It's just pure insanity. It's just more craziness. Piled higher and deeper. It smells just as bad as it always does.
Well, Canada needs to stay their own country, though. They don't need to become a state. That's just silly. A country is massive, and like, why should they?
First state.
Well, we kind of already are to some degree. We're a settler colonial project.
You think Trudeau is scared of Donald Trump?
Wait, why did he cut him off there? That was weird. Oh, American stereotypes? So far, let's see. Dumbo, you got 1. And let's see. Darren has 1. So he has 4, 5. He has 6 points. And you have 1, 3, 4. You got 4 points. So look what she's doing. Look. Where, mamas? What? What is it? She's resting her chin on my hand. I wonder why she's doing that. Hey, Brownie. Yeah, you were blocked for some odd reason. I don't know why. But yeah, we're playing the Dice Game. I was just watching some journalist videos and a video about like American stereotypes. I can't help it. I keep finding these videos in my recommendations. They're so interesting. I can't help it. Oh, I love educational videos. It makes me it boils and doesn't boil. It fires me up when I see videos like this because I want to. I'm trying to have a voice, but it's so hard. Why is it easy to be so good in France? Oh, they got good food. That's one thing. They're not really known for having always fast foods. Is she French? She's French, isn't she? Interesting. But yeah. Yo, you didn't get a notification. I hope YouTube is not like whooping my butt here because maybe that's why people are not on here. Oh, no wonder. Oh my gosh. Because I know I live stream like daily, right? So I don't know why that keeps happening. Ugh, it sucks I can't do anything about it. That's just YouTube for you. I have never been to US. I probably never will. But even so, I get really upset every time fellow Europeans spit out all these demeaning stereotypes. That's true, though. Yeah. People need to know how diverse our country is. I'm from Indiana, and we're not known for Tex-Mex food. That's true, though. Oh, that tickles. That tickles. Yeah, fast food is popular, of course. Absolutely. So I'm gonna just share this very quick. Her video's interesting. Hold on, Mama.
And this is maybe linked to other stereotypes we're going to talk about in a bit. But I think it's such a shame that these people feel the need to do that because I feel the US is a really great place to be from. And obviously, like in every country, there are good things and bad things. But in my personal opinion, and I've lived and worked in the US, I've been to 15 states, but I've also lived in 8 different countries. I can say that the US is a really great place to be from. But another funny side of this stereotype.
Her name is Lucille. That's French.
The center of the world. Like, for example, thinking you can pay in dollars in Paris. And obviously, do not do that if someone accepts your dollars in Paris. They don't.
It's euros.
And you're probably being overcharged. And in general, you should always read up about a country before visiting. Things are going to be very different
of course.
from where you're from. And obviously, not everyone is like that. If you're on this channel, you're probably really interested in cultures. And you're trying your best to adapt, as I can see with all the really cool comments you're leaving. But this leads me to my second stereotype, which is Americans are supposed to.
Oh no, we're not. We're not.
By now, we've all seen this.
We're not bad at geography. Oh no, we're not.
Americans to name a country, any country, just name a country. And obviously, these videos play into the stereotypes. They're also cherry picked, and I'm sure that if you shove the camera on my face and yelled at me, I will forget all the countries. But since it's a light video and it's about my personal opinion on these stereotypes, I have to tell you about something weird that keeps happening to me in the US. And maybe you have an opinion on that. So I'm from France and I grew up right there. And my
Toulouse?
Country in Europe, that's
Toulouse?
right there. And sometimes this comes up in conversations, like for example, if we're talking about our origins with people. And in the West, for whatever reason, people misunderstand or don't remember correctly and think I'm from Mexico. And I love Mexico. I think it's a great country. I've spent a lot of time there.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. She mentions Mexico. Oh boy. I know the French and the Mexicans, they're really interesting. I'm sorry. As someone that does have, at least my grandfather told me, okay, that I have French ancestry and I have a sibling that's half Mexican. I'm sorry. Can I just say something very quick? I always want to go to Mexico so damn badly. I always wanted to go. Not because the men are hot. That's one thing. But I love how they're so family-oriented. Yes, even though they do have a drug cartel problem. But the thing is, Mexicans are really, really, they're hardworking. They basically have like one of the most hardworking hours on earth. That's just obvious. I hope to put it that my live stream didn't froze. They're basically, the thing is, Mexico, they have similarities to Japan because both countries are really hardworking, right? They both love animes. That's true for some interesting reason. And I mean, Mexico, they do have like an embassy, right? And Tokyo, for example. That's why, like, the thing is, we love animes here, right? It's true. A lot of Mexicans, like, if you bring up Dragon Ball, if you bring up even My Hero Academia, or if you bring up, don't get me started, One Piece. Oh yeah, I mean, the actor Inaki, he's Mexican, right? And I have a crush on him. I do. A lot of Mexicans love animes. They do. Okay, every race does. But the thing is, where I'm from, I did a video of it. You know, people probably didn't want to bother viewing it, and that's fine. I don't know what the heck happened to my cap. I'm so sorry. We're supposed to do the dice game, but I want to take a little break. Sorry, this is why I'm talking fast, because I'm inspired, right? I want to keep going because I got the energy. In my neighborhood, right? A lot of people misunderstood us Phoenicians as being like an awful state. No, I mean, or city. It depends. We're in Phoenix. We're huge, right? And also, I mean, you should see the neighborhood from the videos that I did, right? We love animes here. We are really kind, at least to an extent, right? And we struggle just like everyone else does. And just to be a little off topic on that, about my city, I kid you not, I see so many damn cars that have anime stickers on it, from Inuyasha to Hunter x Hunter to Food Wars, for crying out loud. Even that character from Attack on Titan. We love animes here. Maybe that's why the way I dress, it's so it's so accepting here. No one's gonna say anything. The way I dress, no one cares. I'm not sure how it's like in the rest of the country, but out here we don't care, so to speak, right? So I mean, I would get in the past compliments on my socks, like my Animal Crossing socks by like a cute Mexican guy, so to speak, right? And I can share that because that's really ironic. Not to mention in my old apartment that I miss, right? I want to move back. I remember they're not our neighbors, but the ones that were parked there, they had an Inuyasha sticker. I grew up with Inuyasha. I'm sure a lot of Mexicans grew up with Inuyasha. It's one of the best animes that I've ever watched. It's so good. Not to mention, I think it's because the singer, I mean, you gotta understand, Mexicans can sing. They can. Okay? I kid you not. Basically, if you look up the Inuyasha credits in Spanish, it's gorgeous, right? So you know how much Mexicans, care for. I mean, hell, and Hispanics in general care for their music and their dancing and whatnot, right? So I'm so sorry. I just share that because I always want to talk about videos like this because it's. I'm sorry, I'm getting inspired right now. That's why I'm not paying notice to the live stream because I'll get distracted because of my ADHD. But I love how she bring up Mexico. This is a random country, right? She's French. And also those Doritos look really damn good.
In Europe, that's right there. And sometimes this comes up in conversations, like for example, if we're talking about our origins with people. And in the US, for whatever reason, people misunderstand or don't remember correctly and think I'm from Mexico. And
I'm sorry, but Mexico is beautiful. Also, I love how they have these vendors. Honestly, it looks like tacos. Honestly, God, it makes me miss my. Oh, Dios mío, hombre. It makes me miss my apartment so much. In my neighborhood, right? Okay, maybe this is like a Phoenix culture. I'm glad it is. It's just stay that way. Basically, in my neighborhood, right? We do have Mexican street vendors. Basically, it's like if only Jesus was here right now. And I know Brownie may know where I'm talking about here, right? Basically, like you see the corner, like they got the little cart, right? They may have some food, right? And sometimes they would like sell, frutas, which basically means fruits, right? And they would have snacks like hot Cheetos, Takis, también, right? I've always wanted to go to one, but I get too nervous to even like approach one for some odd reason, right? Because I know they're doing their business. I don't want to interrupt them. And they would just sell these delicious snacks. I love seeing that throughout my neighborhood. Even though I know sometimes I'll probably see them driving on the sidewalk, well, that's illegal. You shouldn't do that. Even though you may be like not an illegal immigrant, pardon me. Like you are an American citizen, right? But the thing is, well, for anyone, you shouldn't be doing that. I've seen that out here sometimes. It's whatever. right? But I still love how we have Mexican street vendors here. I'm not sure how it's like the rest of the country, but we do that here, right? I mean, a lot of people thinking that the United States is one thing. No, I'm thinking what people do like in New York, maybe Pennsylvania, Tennessee, like what the heck? Like, I don't know what the heck they practice. Okay, I didn't grow up in that environment. It's like I'm a Yakutian and I'm going to Moscow for the first time. Like, what the hell? Because Yakutians, right? I mean, there is white Russians there, but they're known for being like native. They're like, Darren probably know about this. They're like Chinese Russians, right? It actually makes sense. It's much different than Moscow, right? So basically, Phoenix, for example, it's like living in cuts. Well, let's just say New York is the Moscow of our country, right? People need to understand, depending on the country you're from, it's gonna be different, right? Hell, I think outside of my neighborhood, it's different. I'm not used to seeing what Tempe or Mesa looks like. It's foreign to me because I grew up around the Phoenix and Glendale region, right? And I grew up mostly like a Mexican neighborhood. That's what I see here. You know, we don't have like a Mexican town or whatever, because I mean, there's no such thing. That's one thing. And it's different, you know, like when I used to go to shop for my groceries, I would talk in Spanish because the workers would speak Spanish. I don't care. I actually feel really comfortable. I just get nervous because I feel like my Spanish is so poor. Like if you see like my Not Gonna Sense Store videos, I would talk to one of the workers that speaks Spanish. I don't care if her English is not perfect. She even did her best to speak English. And that takes a lot of effort to do that. You know, I miss her. She was so sweet. She said, "Hola, mijo, you know, ¿cómo estás?" And I say, you know, muy bien, y tú. And, you know, she'll do her best to talk to me in English and vice versa for me when I talk in Spanish. And what I miss about that store is I hear the radio that will talk in Spanish. It reminds me of the Philippines, right? I always want to go to the Philippines. I do. Plus, I think Filipino guys are fucking attractive. I'm not kidding. I find Filipinos really attractive. I think they got attractive stomachs. I'm sorry. They're really attractive. I don't know why. I mean, you could ask me why. You don't have to though. I just like, man, I like their skin. You know, they're like darker Asians. I don't know. Okay, it's like people thinking all of Asia is the same. No. Okay, the Philippines are much different than Chinese. Even though they have Chinese ancestry, right? Like I think like 1% of Filipinos are Chinese, well, have Chinese descent. But the thing is, what people don't understand, in the Philippines, they're really Catholic, right? You know, well, they're atheists and Buddhist, right? And then when you got Indonesia, basically that bird that I like, that had a life trust but is damn age, they're Muslim. Asia is not the same. You know, it's kind of funny, like people thinking that, oh, if you're from Asia, people think you're Chinese. No, there's Indonesian, there's Vietnamese, there's Burmese, right? There's Mongolian. They're all different, right? The only Asians I've met is Chinese. Well, okay, don't get started Vietnamese though. That was the first, right? Doesn't mean like I'm trying to be xenophobic here. It's just my experience, right? Okay, Chinese, Vietnamese. I don't think I ever met a Korean though. I met a Japanese, of course, when I was a special ed because I had to take speech class. Right? She was really sweet, and she even gave me like a fan. The stuff I basically ripped it. I had that fan for a while, right? Because you know how delicate fans are, right? I have never met. Well, I don't know if I met an Indonesian in my lifetime. Maybe I did out here because we do have some Muslims here and they normally wear hijabs, right? Because I mean, I don't think I've ever would picture an Indonesian wearing a hijab. They're not as strict for their Islamic laws as Afghans, Arabians are. You know, so we may have like a handful of them. You know, I'm so sorry, I'm not sure this. I remember one time, well, they may be Malay. I'm not sure though. But I remember that when I was going to the 99-cent store, and they thanked me. And I smiled. I did. And they looked adorable. It was a family, right? It was like a mother and like her 2 kids. They're Muslim, right? And I don't want them to miss the bus. So I basically did this like to hope for the bus. And they thanked me. It was really sweet. Yeah, this is why I love these videos. Okay, I talk about this for hours, but I get nervous talk about it. That's why when I'm acting weird, I want if anyone ever sees my live streams, I know I've been posting a lot. I know I don't really get newcomers here. It's an autistic habit, right? Like the way I'm rambling here, this is how I act, right? Like I'm showing y'all that I have such inspiration for it. This is like one of my favorite topics on YouTube. I could talk about this for months, weeks on end, right? Because it's fun. And that's why I like seeing how people in other countries, okay, live or how they drive or basically how they walk, so to speak. It's so interesting to me. I can never get enough of it.
Mexico, I think it's a great country. I've spent a lot of time there during my travel. I've actually lived there for 6 months, but I am not from Mexico. I'm literally from the other side of the pond. Like, it's a 10-hour flight to go from Paris to Mexico. And
That's
this
far.
led to a very awkward situation, especially at work, with people going out of their way to be nice and introducing me as Mexican to actual Mexican people who are like, oh, cool, which part of Mexico are you from? And I'm like, France. And the people who forget where I'm from are very educated, they're trying to be nice, and I've never understood why this happens so often, and why it's always Mexico and not, for example, Canada, where they also speak French.
Exactly. And in Quebec, right? Quebec, par exemple, they speak French, right? I literally have the flag of Quebec. I always want to go to Quebec. Can I just share something very quick? You wonder why I always love Canadians? I love how they say A. One of my favorite YouTubers that plays mall party games, I have a crush on him. He's my age. Pika's right. He's Canadian, right? I've met Canadians. I had talked to one on Snapchat that was from Montreal eons ago. This is a true stereotype, right? Not all stereotypes. I don't like to say that not all. A handful of stereotypes are true, right? Canadians are really friendly. I kid you not, I met a lot of them, right, in the past. I mean, it sucks that I blocked him though. His name was Vince. He lives in I think it's in New Brunswick, or no, not New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island. I hope he's doing well because he's in the spectrum like me. He basically met Charles Martinet, and he is Italian, by the way, right? And we basically did Vito Cam before. He was really sweet. The reason why I did feel like a little bit nervous because he was always off topic, right? It was a little difficult for me to keep him on my live streams because if I talk about something serious, he's always off topic. He didn't do anything wrong. It's just that I let him go, right? He's sweet and he's straight as a ruler, and he's okay with me talking about like fetishes or whatever, and he likes to talk about it with me, and that's like an artistic habit that we do or talk about. He's sweet. He is, right? And he, like, when I think about Canada, I think about him. I think about Total Drama, right? And for some odd reason, I'm trying to think of another Canadian animated series. I can't think of one, but I always want to go to Canada. Canada is huge like us Americans, okay? Canada, like, depending on where you are in Canada. Vancouver, they have a lot of Chinese there, right? My mother, she went to Vancouver with my grandmother, right? Really expensive. I do not recommend living there unless you basically are a multimillionaire, so good luck. Calgary, by the way, I don't know why I love Calgary so much. Maybe it's because they're really diverse, like my city is. Okay, they're known for having a high Filipino population. We are sister cities with them. And I think we do get some people from Alberta that like to come down here, which is really neat. Not to mention they got the City of Lights. Not the City of Lights. It's called the Northern Lights, which I think is pretty awesome. I always want to go to Calgary. I love their flag because it has a cowboy, like the cowboy hat, which I think is pretty cool. I know people say it's like the Texas of Canada. I still want to visit. I still want to visit Calgary. I do. Okay, I would love to visit Montreal. I do. Anywhere in Canada, eh? I literally would love to visit. I would even date a Canadian, eh? I don't know why. I love their flag. It's cute. I'm sorry. I want to tickle it. I love how they have a maple leaf on it. I love their national anthem, and it's kind of funny, like they're like us, but they're up north, right? But it still shocks me to see like, wow, that's what their streets look like. I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm having a geography meltdown here. I'll read all your comments shortly. I can't help it.
Like, it's not even a question of geography, but more listening when people tell you where they're from. And also, I do feel that it's normal that some Americans don't know about every single European country. Like, the US is such a big country. There are many states already to remember. So I don't expect people to know about the exact place I'm from. Because I personally don't know every single place in the US either. Also, in Europe, where countries are very tiny and close to each other, like France is roughly the size of Texas.
It's kind of awkward how Texas is that large. I just can't picture that. Literally. That is how big Texas is. If you think my state is big, then look at Texas. I see a handful of Texas license plates. I do. Okay, it's so ironic how big that state is. They could be their own country at this point.
But there's also, for example, Monaco, which is the size of Central Park in New York.
That's
and
crazy.
Europeans also generalize the US too. Like, one of my European pet peeves is when people have very strong opinions about the US for no reason, even though they've never been there. And this is because US politics are very discussed by international media. Also, American movies and American companies are everywhere, but they are not representative of the American culture.
Exactly.
Like, you can't have an educated point of view about the whole American culture just by watching
Home
Super Bowl,
Alone.
for example. And the stereotype is also linked to the next one.
We do.
Which is that Americans don't travel. And I have to say that this one is entirely not true. You've probably heard the myth that only 10% of Americans have passports. Well, apparently this has not been true for over 20 years. And apparently 3/4 of Americans have visited at least
I'm one of them.
So Americans are going abroad. They're just visiting fewer countries than us Europeans. Roughly 1/4 of Americans have been to 5 or more countries.
Wait, Mexico is only 1%? Oh, 5 or more. Wow, Mexico is low. I'm shocked. Okay, India is only 1. Wait, you did about 1%. Indonesia is only 1%. Are you serious? Really? Oh God, Buddha. 19% of Japanese visit 5 or more countries. South Korea is 36%. Oh my God. Wait, what? You tell me. Wait, what? Wait, how is that possible? More than half of Australians have visited 5 or more countries? Are you nuts? That's crazy. That is so crazy. What? How is that possible? The Netherlands, yeah, because they're small, right? 83%. It's still shocking to me, though. Brazil, okay, it's kind of funny. Brazil, 2%, but Mexico's 1%. Brazil is so huge, right? Like, look at the size of this country. Look how big Brazil is. I always want to go to Brazil because my crush, the Nolly guy, right? That I do my business. Yeah, I miss him. I do. Well, he told me he's not from there. He'd probably be living in Paraguay, right? He speaks Portuguese, right? I'm just shocked that, like, okay, Mexico is shocking to me. Like, only 1%? How is it so low? Like, Indonesia. It's kind of weird to me. I wonder why, though. But again, who can travel to 5 or more countries? I'll only visit 1, which is her country. What a coincidence, right? How is that possible? That's so interesting. I'm sorry, I love this video though. Her name is Lucille. You can see her name, right? So, and I see a Bhutan flag from here. Oh my God, that's Bhutan, Brownie. That's Bhutan. Yes, and Darren. I know Darren will know it. It's my favorite flag. That's a cute dragon on it. What are these little balls? I've always wanted to visit Bhutan. I always want to visit.
54%, and in smaller European countries like the Netherlands, it's 83%. And that fully makes sense because there's 2 factors at play in international travel, which are basically
money.
How much money you have.
That's true. So basically, like Indonesians and Mexicans, they're known for not having as great as an economy, right? I mean, like in Mexico, I know they're known for being poor. I still want to visit. I literally am like 2.5 hours away from the border. I've always wanted to visit Mexico so damn badly. I don't know why. Maybe that's why I like to speak Spanish more, because I like how I got people from other places that view my live streams or my videos. It makes me like, when I get more viewers on my live streams, I want everyone to know, when we get more people on here, if it's possible, I'm gonna be more talkative like this, because It means that we have more conversations, right? We got more opinions, and it's gonna make me talk even longer. That's why you see my live streams like, it's only a handful of you, or if it's really like late, right? I get like a bit quiet because, well, there's no one here unless it's Dumbo first, right? And that's why, because there's not much to talk about, and it's like a cool stream. Yeah, I like those, but at the same time, it's nice to have more people that would come in and visit, and they would share something. All right, at 9:40, because I know Darren has to go to bed soon. Okay, 9:30, yeah, like 9:36. Yeah, I'll read all your comments.
Expensive, but also how close you are to another country. Like if we take the example of the Netherlands, you could technically bike to Belgium. It's super close.
Seriously?
Also, in the US, flights tend to be pretty expensive because you're pretty far away from other countries.
Yep.
Like your only neighbors are Canada.
Yep. She basically showing the borders, right? Washington, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, Montana, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. They all border Canada, California, my state, New Mexico, Texas. They border basically Mexico, right? And then Florida, as much as I don't like that state. No offense if I ever get any Floridas that may be viewing this. Well, they're not far from Cuba, right? So yeah, I like this video already.
In Mexico, and the US is so massive that a lot of people prefer to travel domestically. Like there's already so much to do in the US.
That's true.
Like, nature is very diverse. There's a lot of
And Darren, this is your state. Oh boy.
And the US is so massive that a lot of people prefer to travel domestically. Like there's already so much to do in the US. Like the nature is very diverse. There's a lot of really cool regional cultures, and also things are.
By the way, I miss California. Can I just say something? I know a lot of people don't like California. You know why I like California so much? Because, well, one, when I used to go to Dollar Tree, 2 of the workers there, they're from Darren State. They treat me like I was their family, right? Californians tend to act like that. 2, I love their flag. 3, I see a lot of license plates. I know that people don't like California. All right, I love them. I do. 4, they help my state. I know things are getting more expensive, but you know what? I don't know. It's hard to explain it, right? I can't explain it about 4. But 5, except for earthquakes, which I'll never experience, they have beautiful weather. And they're actually one of the gayest states, if that helps, right? I don't know. I just have to just share that. Plus, okay, number 6, I did visit Anaheim when I was like 10 years old, and we went to Goofy's Kitchen, right? And we got to see Aladdin, who was really attractive, by the way. We saw Goofy. We saw Chip and Dale, right? It was nice. I still remember when. Okay, the downside is about California is the traffic, right? Obviously, I mean, literally, they were like the second. Well, if we don't cut New York, they're the biggest city in the whole damn country, right? No offense to New Yorkers, like your crime rate is high. I mean, I know you're a great city now, but I don't know, something about New York I don't like that much. I don't know why. I just don't. You don't have mountains. I don't like that. I'm sorry, but I don't like. I mean, it's cool to see buildings, but I like nature. That's what New York doesn't have, unless you're in upstate New York. So good luck with that. All over California, they basically have nature. California is hella diverse, right? And people, like, when you think about California, you think about multiple cities. You don't think about, like, if you think about New York, you think about just New York. No. Okay? Albany and Buffalo exists, but people don't know that. Okay? But when you think about California, right? You think about LA, San Diego, San Fran, Sacramento, right? Etc. You know, in Texas, well, you would think about Dallas, Houston, and Austin, right? But when you think about Florida, well, you know what? Florida, that's a little interesting, right? Because you got Miami, Orlando, so I guess that kind of takes it away. Mostly people think about Miami. I don't know. It's hard to explain it, right? But, like, imagine New York is so populated, but people only think about New York. The city, the Big Apple, right? There's more than just the damn Big Apple. I'm not sure that makes any sense.
Like, for example, Barcelona in Spain is a very common weekend trip from where I grew up in France. It's roughly a 4-hour drive. In New York City, where I used to live, the same amount of driving only got me to Italy in New York State, which is in a very beautiful region and has really nice.
That's beautiful.
Really cool hikes, but obviously it's not another country. And another stereotype I had before going to the US
is
that Americans don't speak any other languages than English. And this one is not entirely true. Like, the US is a country that has been built on immigration, and around 1 in 5 Americans speaks a different language at home. But even if you're not already bilingual, it's never too late to start learning a new language with today's partner,
Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone is an immersive language learning app that uses pictures, audio, and native pronunciation tools to help you confidently speak a new language as if it were your first. All their lessons are themed and built to immerse you in real-world situations you'd actually encounter. Also, they have this really cool voice recognition feature called True Accent, and it listens to your pronunciation and gives you feedbacks so that you can sound more like a native speaker. At the moment, Rosetta Stone is offering 60%
that's an ad that I like to see, right? Because as much as I don't like sponsors, I like how she added that, because I always want to use Rosetta Stone as someone that basically speaks multiple languages, but he's not like a native speaker, right? I use Duolingo, and I thought they were like this. I did use Hello Chinese. It's an app, right? I'm not sure if it's still on the Play Store though, but it's an app. Darren, I thought you're gonna love this, right? Basically, Hello Chinese, right? It's an app that you use to learn Mandarin. And what's really unique about it is that you literally can write the Mandarin symbols. Like on your phone, you will practice writing it. And I think that's really neat. Like, if I can give y'all an example, right? If I want to say, I mean, my Mandarin is really poor, but Darren can judge me on here. So I'm going to write the word I, which means wool, right? I forgot to write it. It's been so long. Uh-oh, I forgot to write it. At the end, that's all right. Okay, I could write my, which is the. I forgot to write goal, which means dog, right? Well, the goal means my dog. I can't write it. I'm so sorry, Darren, right? But this symbol here is wool. I mean, the, right? So let's just say, like, about, if you were to say I love my dog, you say why the goal, right? Or if you say I love my cat, you say why the mao. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, Darren. I know I need more practice. But the thing is, on the app, you literally could like practice writing the symbols. I think that's so cool, because that's how I tried to study Mandarin, because I haven't studied it for so long, right? It's one of my favorite languages that I've always wanted to study. You know, because I've always wanted to visit China. Not because the Chinese guys are hot, but excuse me. And are known for being tall too. But sorry about that. I want to have a challenge. Not to mention, a lot of people get the stigma that Chinese people are like really evil or whatever. Like, what? 什么？我不是，我要呢，我要错过有人。和我说么个人，you know， 和我不分么个人，no wait，我不分同个人 ，okay， something like that, right? And I don't know why that. I'm so sorry, Derek. I'm so sorry. That sounds awkward, but I love videos like this. This is helping the live stream more, because it's fun. Okay, this is like one of my passions. I know people may not like it. You can watch another damn channel, but this is one of my strong points, because when I was 13, right, I used to learn languages on YouTube. One of the first ones was Icelandic. I still know 8 words in that language for some odd reason. I think that woman with those gorgeous earrings and those glasses, I still remember that video. She did an amazing job. I was really young when I watched it, and I've always wanted to go to Iceland. Plus, not to mention their prime minister is a lesbian, which is awesome, actually, because you can see how gay friendly the country is. And I've always wanted to know like how other countries and cultures are, because I don't want to be trapped in a bubble. I love other countries. I love how I get people if they're a different race than me. Even if they're black themselves, but I find it really interesting because I want to break this down, okay? Like, I like seeing people that may be a different race than me that views my videos, or if they're from a different state, you know, that has different mannerisms. I don't know. Like, I love diversity, okay? Literally, it's like if you want to eat, like, it's cool to eat the same food every day, but eventually you want to try something new, right? You want it's like a Buddhist thing, right? Like it's okay to be materialistic, but sometimes we want to try something new. It's like if I want to play Smash Brothers, for example, right? It's cool to play 10 soft matches, 10-minute battles, right? But the thing is, I want to try stamina because I think it's fun to hear the characters dying and collapsing and then they just explode like popcorn. I think that's pretty cool. Honestly, it should be like a hashtag try something new, right? Because it's so cool to try new things. Californication, exactly. And probably because of our poverty rate, Darren, exactly. And yeah, New York does. I mean, I would love to visit, but what's so special about it? I'm sorry, that sounds so mean of me. Because everyone keeps fantasize about New York. It's the New York syndrome. Yeah, it is an important city now, but they just have the Times Square. I want to see something else. I want to see Mount Rushmore. I want to see the Great Arch. I want to see the Space Needle. Oh my God, I would love to see the Space Needle. My mother has, but I haven't. I want to see the Rocky Mountains. I want to see that little gambling city, Reno. Because me and Darren don't live far from there. I did visit Vegas, but I didn't visit Reno. I would love to visit, though. I mean, we're not far from that city. So, not to mention they snow, which is pretty cool, actually. I don't know why I'm saying that for, but I don't know. I think upstate New York does have a lot of mountains. They do in nature. But yeah, compared to California, people just talk about the city exactly. And they do both have a crime rate, double, exactly. And that's Papua New Guinea, Barney. That's Papua New Guinea. That is Papua New Guinea. I love that flag. I wanted to say something about Papua New Guinea. You know why I find that country really interesting? Because they are known for speaking many languages. And it sucks because not many people know that country exists, right? It sucks because it is one of the most dangerous on earth. It sucks. Like it's called Port Asby. I cannot pronounce the name. They're known for have like a lot of kidnappings or whatever, right? And it sucks. I think they do. I would love to visit though. Even though you can't get by with English. I forgot what language they speak though. I don't remember the name of it, which I find really interesting. But I would love to visit that country. I do. I cannot. They have a gorgeous flag. Okay, this is for someone that loves Australia. You can see why, because I used to have viewers that were from down under. That's why I speak a little bit of Aussie English, or at least I did in the past, because thanks to the Bone and Beautiful that my mother got me into, I had a lot of viewers from Australia that thanked me, that would add me on Facebook. You could see how long ago it was. Mostly women, right? Even like a high school girl wanted to be friendly. She was so sweet. And it made me appreciate the country, right? So that's probably why I made that video about the Australia climate or something. I kind of want to do more videos about Australia, though. I've always wanted to visit. I do. And you know what's I like about Australia? In my state, we're known for having dangerous animals like they do, which I think is pretty cool. But there's a stereotype, though. A lot of people thinking that if you're in Arizona, you're going to see scorpions. I have not seen one in my entire life. I've only seen one snake, and it was dead. So it depends where in Arizona that you go. Like if you're in the Sonoran Desert, most likely. But like out here, and I walked like let's just say like a 10-mile radius of my city. I have never seen a scorpion or anything like that. No. I don't know why people thinking that you see scorpions. Like you must be living in the Sonoran Desert then, because I haven't seen one in my lifetime. We have geckos though, which is awesome. Really rare though. Okay. I will have one as a pet. I kid you not. We got daddy long legs, the one I tried to adopt but that died. Do not tell my mother about it, but we actually have like a cute daddy long legs that's been living like in front of our door for like the past couple months. He's not hurting anyone. He's just dangling there. He's cute. Honestly. I'm sorry. Maybe that's why I love Australia so much. And I love New Zealand. Because I don't know why. I just do. My mother, she did went to Auckland. And she did ski, which is really funny to think about. And Not to mention, I heard an interesting fact about New Zealanders or Kiwis. That's what they're called or named. They actually could go to a supermarket barefoot. I think that's pretty neat. You know, I think that's really neat. I'm trying to think about what one thing that we do in my state that other states don't do. Well, we like animes. We dress in pajamas. Well, I do. I see other people do it. Well, I'm sure that's a nationwide thing, but out here we do it a little different. So I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to explain it. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I love this stuff. Yeah, well, I go. Yep, that's it. There, that's it. Yep. Because I can't write the I symbol. It's so complicated. Yeah. I love dog. You mean I love dogs? It could be plural because the Mandarin language can be a little complex. And I think they want to visit New York because of the sky. Yeah, the skyscrapers and large ass pizza that could fill up a belly in one slice. Absolutely. And do I want to visit Miami? Nah. No. No offense for Floridans, but I'm sorry. It's because of that family. I'm sorry. Unless I could get justice, I'm not gonna like Florida as much. I don't even like that name, Florida, because that's where they're from. And mistreating my state, that's why I don't like Floridans as much. I mean, I'm not trying to be hateful, but unless things change and there's a miracle, I'm not gonna like Florida as much. Doesn't mean like, oh yeah, you don't deserve to live here. It's just I don't like Floridans as much. Not to mention a viewer of mine that's from there. He was stuck up and unsubscribed. Well, stay in your state, don't come here. But yeah, that's why I don't like that state that much. Yep, Papua New Guinea's right next to Indonesia. Yeah. Yep, because the thing is, in Indonesia, they have like this island, kinda, that borders that country. So you may thinking that's all of Papua New Guinea, but it's not, right? I think it's called Guinea. I don't remember exactly though, but it's like if you think about Haiti and where Jesus is from, Dominica, right? They're two different countries. Yes, it may seem like they're one, but they're not. It's like if you think about Cyprus, which is a little interesting because there's Northern Cyprus and then there's Cyprus, right? It's kind of weird. I don't know what's up about Cyprus. I gotta learn more about that country though. I heard they're a Middle Eastern country, which is weird. I'm thinking, what? Cyprus is Middle Eastern? I thought it'd be like Turkey. It's like below Turkey. So, it's interesting how countries work. You know, Russia, I still see Russia as a European country, but it's in Asia. It's weird. You know, geography is so amazing sometimes. And that's cute. That's a cute emoji for scorpions. Oh yeah. I think they could be in Texas. It depends though. I gotta look that up. And yeah, you forgot Indonesia is a country, Dubbo? You're kidding me. It's huge. Honestly.
Literally been told, be careful to not break a leg in the US. Otherwise, you'll be in debt. And given current events, it seems like a really big issue. But luckily for me, I haven't broken anything. And the only medical emergency I had while living in the US was an ear infection. And obviously, ear infections are not life-threatening. But if you've ever had one, it hurts so bad.
I have one. Can I explain about ear infections? They are so. Imagine like someone is like poking a pen. Okay, at your ear. I did a review of this, like as an experiment, because I went deaf for one day. Right, I could barely hear my mother. I was trying to rest them in my, in our apartment. Right, I had to sit up because it's supposed to like elevate the pain of my earlobes. I think ear infections are really, really awful. Like it's like someone is like randomly, like they're doing that hard. It hurts so much. It hurts. Ear infections are painful. I don't know how I survived through it though. My mother, she has them too though. So it's maybe I think she did, but she did experience being blind for a day. But I experienced being deaf for a day. Let's just say it's not pleasant. And I have so much sympathy for the deaf community because I would be so miserable if I can't hear. I'm not like as in like even though you're deaf, right? Like you can still hear, but like it's very minimal. It's like if you're blind, but you can see like little visions. It's not like I think like what people mean by blind, like you see this, right? But blind to be like this, if that actually makes sense, right? I gotta read more into that, I think.
Ready to do anything to make it stop. And on my side, I went to an urgent care facility where I saw a doctor, and it costed.
So the word Cyprus sounds like an astrology. I know it kind of does, doesn't it, Dumbbell? Honestly, and you missed a lot of messages. Oh, I did. Yeah, and oh, so Brownie, you can relate, huh? Oh, she has to go to bed. No. I hope you sleep well, Brownie. It's so nice to have you here. Damn it, because that means Darren is gonna go to bed in 10 minutes.
First, luckily, my health insurance was very good at the time because I was working for a French company in the US. So I had to pay out of pocket and then I was reimbursed. But in the time it took for me to get reimbursed, I was very scared that my claim was going to be denied or that I would not be reimbursed in full. And to be honest, $300 is a lot of money for an ear infection.
That's true.
If I compare that to my most recent ear infection, and I have sensitive ears, okay, which was in Paris, I had to pay $0 out of pocket.
Are you serious?
They didn't even ask to see my credit card. They only needed my health insurance card. If I had to pay out of pocket, it would have been 25 euros, which is around $26. So it is very, very cheap to see a doctor in France. And it's pretty easy to get an appointment for everyday stuff. Obviously, our system is not perfect, but I feel it's a pretty good one. I've never had any kind of medical stress in France. And obviously in the US, the stereotype varies quite a lot depending on your health insurance plan because it depends on your employer. And I've seen both ends of the spectrum, like from people who didn't have dental and couldn't afford to get dental care, which really sucks. Like it's so painful. On the opposite end of the spectrum, I've seen like stuff that's not very necessary being reimbursed. Like recently I was talking with my friends about this clinic that gives you a Chanel goodie bag after you give birth. So yeah, not very necessary. I'd rather not pay $300 if I have an ear infection. But yeah, overall, I feel very grateful that I've always been super healthy. My family and all my loved ones have been very healthy. So I haven't tested extensively any medical system. And if you have and you want to share your experience, feel free to leave me a comment. Another thing I believe about the US is that people sue each other for no reason.
Yeah, we see that a lot. I do not know why. It's really silly. It doesn't happen. It doesn't. Like, oh, you're gonna get sued if you do copyright on YouTube. If that was the case, there wouldn't be any YouTubers on here that do reaction channels. And I was one of them, right? Or how Casey basically told me, oh, I'm gonna sue you. Like, you don't have a lawyer. And even if you do, what have I done for you to sue me for? When you're the one that assaulted me in the first place. You know, it's crazy. And bladder infections suck as well. Oh yeah, I actually I never had one, Dumbbell, but I can imagine. I know having constipation, it hurts, or even like getting kidney stones. Oh my god, they're so damn painful.
One is a bit of a weird one, but from a European perspective, it seems like the US is like the Wild West of lawsuits. Like,
ad. It's a short one.
a bunch of like personal injury.
Oh, that's in my state. I recognize the sky.
It seems like the US is like the Wild West of lawsuits. Like just.
Yep, that's my state. I could tell by this. It looks like it, unless that's Darren's state. Oh, okay. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Oh, it's in Darren's state. Oh, God, man. I swear us in California do look alike. Yeah. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it says in LA. I could see it in the print.
Being on the highway, you see a bunch of like personal injury lawyers. You have to sign release forms all the time, and you hear about those crazy viral lawsuits. And here I can't talk about that without talking about what happened to this poor old lady that had to be hospitalized for 8 days after spilling McDonald's coffee on her lap. Like, I've seen the picture, and what happened to this lady was really horrible. She had 30
Oh, dear.
She decided to sue McDonald's to pay for her medical bills. That's just what she was asking for.
Yeah, I can see why she brought us up, because in our country we're really corrupted for like healthcare, right? That's why that we tend to have, oh, if you basically do this, I'll sue you, right? It makes sense, because like if you're in a hospital and you can't pay for the hospital bills, we tend to do that. Oh, the moon is out. The moon. The moon. The moon. I don't think I could. Shit. Sucks Stoics isn't here. The moon. I don't think I'm daring out in Dumbo because I know there you gotta go to bed like in 5 minutes, right? You see it? Oh, cute. Ah. Oh, it's a full moon as well. How cute. Anyway, and I knew it was a stereotype American Cthulhu. Yeah, it kind of is obvious, Dumbo. Like you see in the Puppet Freakout videos, you would hear that a lot, which is really ironic to think about. It will sue me later once I take over the route. That's a good one there. That's a really good one. And okay, good. All right, I got the little piece to protect this little thing here, even though it's fine, but I want to take the best care of this plug. And I don't think Casey knows where Lori. She doesn't, Darren. She doesn't. Honestly, I mean, at first, like I thought, like she does have a lawyer because she did make a lot of decent money in the past. So I did believe her at first, but now this whole time I don't. Especially since she doesn't have her damn own apartment and whatnot. Embarrassing of me to basically believe that.
Times documentary you watch about it sums it best. Burned by hot coffee, then by the media. Like she was painted by the news as just a dumb lawsuit that was fully useless. ABC News even called it the poster child of excessive lawsuits. And from a European perspective, that's just what I heard. I actually didn't know what happened to this lady and obviously hadn't seen the pictures, which are awful. So I feel the stereotypes comes from extreme cases that were
I get it.
And
I think the comments are being glitched out. There we go. Oh, because of the emojis that you're using. That's funny.
Like I feel suing for medical bills is totally understandable, and seriously, the very few people I know that have been involved in a lawsuit, it has been for a very good reason. So I don't think suing people qualifies as an American hobby. I don't know, and I don't want to know. I'm not a lawyer. I've never been involved in any lawsuits, and I intend for things to stay this way. Alright, so this is supposed to be a live video, and recently in my recommended, I've had a lot of videos of Italians trying Olive Garden, and as you could expect, their reactions are not very good. They are very scared to go there. They don't really like the food. And overall, they find the experience very bland and inauthentic. And that's often how Europeans tend to perceive American food.
Everyone thinks we eat fast food. Well, yet again, Europeans eat fast food too. Arabians eat fast food. Every damn country on this earth eats fast food. The world would be minus to the multiverse. And I see the little W emoji. That's cute. The moon, yeah, exactly, Dumbbell. That's funny, Darren.
The US, but luckily I was proven entirely wrong. The US is a massive country with a very rich.
Oh, that looks good.
From state to state, and I have to say that this stereotype is absolutely untrue. I feel this bad image stems from the fact that our only contact with American food in Europe are the big fast food chains. Like, for example, I used to have a terrible image of fried chicken because I only knew about KFC and it didn't look really good to me. Like, I thought this was pure junk food and I was not.
All right. Wait, where's Mom at?
She'll be back. She's at lunch, so it's working.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, now you will be back in my bed, Mamas.
Willing to try it. I usually don't really like big chains because I prefer to go to small shops. But a few years ago, my American boyfriend actually brought me to Atlanta, Georgia to go to one of the best fried chicken restaurants in the world. And there we actually met the chef who told us about the recipe that hasn't changed since 1945.
Wow.
We put so much love and care into
it. Now that's what being an American is. A lot of people thinking that, oh, we just eat fast food. No. I mean, depending on the state that you're in, we have delicious. I mean, no offense for Europeans out there, right? But if you see our restaurants, depending on the state that you're in, we have unique restaurants that Europeans don't have. Like in my state, we got Filiberto's and I forgot the other one is, which is a Mexican. I know I ate one of the Mexican places. They're, oh god, I remember now when I was with those 4 buddies of, well, Juan, Jack, especially one. Jack, Curl, and Fergus, right? I don't think I have that video. It's on private. When we went to this cool like Mexican restaurant that wasn't far from my house, they know how to make Mexican food. Like they're Mexican, right? But damn it, they know how to. Oh my god! Even though I don't think it was that expensive though, but they got these like little cute like little tacos, right? Or soft tacos. Oh, me and Casey, we went there, and the burritos are so to die for. It took me like a couple of days to eat it. Oh god, I want to move back to my apartment again. Oh, I do think Juan a lot because he's half Mexican, half Filipino, right? And he let me try horchata, which is supposed to be like this cool. Damn it, if Bronny was here, she probably know what it is. Well, I mean, because she's Hispanic, right? So she probably know what horchata is. But it's supposed to be this like sweet. It's like you're drinking milk, but it's not exactly like milk. It has milk in it, but it has like sugar and it has like something else in it, right? I can't explain it. It's really good, you know. And someone just voted this now, and going to fatty restaurants like the Heart Attack. Yes, Darren, you know about that, do you? I watched a documentary about it. We actually have one on here in Phoenix, I believe. The Heart Attack Grill. Yeah, I'm surprised you know about it because I forgot what channel it was. I don't remember though. But though KFC needs to do better with having more unique food items. Really, Darren? They don't have unique food? I thought they do though. And I haven't ate KFC in a long time. And KFC installed it. It is. I mean, I still miss McDonald's because I still miss the spicy chicken sandwiches. I still miss the milkshakes. You know, I know a lot of people think that's not unique. Well, I grew up eating both of them. They're delicious. Don't get started with the Shamrock milkshake. Oh, boo, that's so delicious. Or the bean and beef burrito that we have to talk about. And the ranch Dorito taco that they have. That my mother basically paid for me. They're so delicious. I love eating those. Oh my gosh. I wonder if they should still have them on the menu unless they discontinue it. I don't know. And Dumbo, the Heart Attack Grill is supposed to be this like restaurant joint that you go to, and they would have like 60 women there. Basically, you would have it's a TV. You would basically Autumn's in here. I'm surprised she's not interrupted. She loves my room. Is she? Oh, you're sleeping on my blanket, aren't you? She loves my scent. I guess my sweat doesn't bother her. Basically, you would basically eat like these huge. I'm gonna have to show that to you later on, hopefully. These like huge like stacks of cheeseburgers, and they could give you a heart attack. That's why they got like nurses, right? You know, like paramedics or whatever. If you got a heart attack or a stroke, you know, and you got these big men that would eat these, right? Yeah. Basically what Darren says, it's a fast food restaurant that serves deliberately unhealthy junk food that is high in fat, sugar, and cholesterol and calories. And it's a staff wear the staff they wear hospital uniform. So like if you get a heart attack, Dumbbell, you will go straight to the hospital. Like they prepare for it. Because the thing is, it's only that. If you are able to eat like how many like cheeseburgers you could eat, you basically get a free, like you eat for free. You don't have to pay for it, which I think is pretty neat. It's kind of like The Simpsons. They kind of predicted in a way, like Homer has to eat this huge steak, right? And if he can finish it, I think it was like a 60-ounce steak or something, or not 60, maybe a 40-ounce. He doesn't have to pay, which is pretty cool. In Dumbbell, I know it's a little confusing, but you know what? Since they're adults and they decided to eat their asses off, then you know what? It's whatever. You know, because they do have nurses and they have paramedics, so they're prepared for it. So it's not that bad. You know, if it was, then they would have shut down ages ago. So, yeah, that's what they call it, the Heart Attack Grill. Also, we basically have it's like Starbucks, but it's not Starbucks. I want to make a video about it because this man, he died by suicide. It's tragic, but it's his damn mistake because he was being a pervert. He thinks it's okay he can like wank in front of the female workers. It's like Hooters, but it's not Hooters. It's called like Bikini something. I think Jeremy heard of it. It's only like in 8 states, so I know your state doesn't have it though. It's mostly here in the Southwest, and it's supposed to be like this like little like drive-through, like you would just like order like food or something, right? It's pretty neat how in certain states they got these things, but other states don't. You know, the United States is really interesting. You know, I just love our country does a ton of issues that we need to solve, though. Especially mental health in a way, but I still love our country.
Native chicken overnight. It's super juicy and tasty, and they serve it with really delicious sides. And since then, I've been such a big fan of fried chicken and southern food in general. I even love chicken and waffles, which is another.
I want to try that chicken and waffles. I want to try that. Not to mention, you get the option to get paddle spank. Yeah, that's true, which is hilarious. Basically, like Dumbo, like, you know, in the Deep South, like, if you're in school, if you do something bad, like, you get punished, you get, like, spanked. But they use, like, a paddle, right? I know in Texas, they still do that. You would get spanked. You know? It's kind of like a fetish. I knew it was considered as a fetish, which is kind of funny. Yeah. So basically, you're getting spanked by using a paddle, pretty much.
Would send Europeans into a coma, but it's so good. And
I know, it's a little interesting, isn't it? And I gotta pee.
Made out of gum, with some
The hell? Gan emoji. Oh, that's so cool. So there's new emojis. They got a god emoji. They got like a mountain emoji. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Of course, it'll be iPhone, though. That's pretty cool. Sorry, because I love emojis, right? Why the fuck are places like that open? Dumbo, I have no idea. You can ask me. I want to, like, I think it's interesting, but, like, I wonder why, too, honestly.
that are not owned by big corporations. And I feel you obviously shouldn't rule out American food just because you've seen McDonald's or KFC.
I don't fucking know.
When Europeans say the food is not tasty in the US, because not only there's really good American foods, but there's also food from all over the world. Like, for example, in New York, I've tried real authentic Malaysian food, Indian food, Indonesian food, and all of these foods, they're made very authentically. Like, they keep the recipes the same as at home, and they often import some spices or products. Certain number 8 is that people love to work.
We don't.
I'm French, so it comes to no surprise to you that people have a lot of vacation time in France. But that's one image I had of Americans. And I do feel this one is kind of true. Like, there is this always on mentality where people are always thinking about business or maybe building side hustles and always trying to make things happen. And obviously, sometimes it's a necessity.
Mm-hmm. They do, Dumbo.
Several jobs, they don't always do that because they love it. Like, they need to pay rent. But there is more of a focus in the US in having a side hustle, monetizing your passions. Whereas in France, I know a lot of people, for example, who are very good at a skill like art, but just do that in private and will never think of monetizing.
Not me. I'm terrible at this. But just because you eat at the heart attack grill doesn't mean you get a heart attack. That's true. It just increases the chance of getting a heart attack. That's true. If you would eat all those cheeseburgers, like a Dumbo, it doesn't mean that you're gonna get a heart attack. Like, it's only if you want to order like a quadruple cheeseburger or something, then yeah. But other than that, it's like a normal restaurant. And if I were to be asked if I want to go to a heart attack grill, then maybe I will, right? You definitely got to be big, right? You definitely got to have a good appetite to eat a lot of food. You're kind of like our brother, you know? Then that would be an issue. For me, I'm not going to be able to even eat like a double cheese. Ugh. Like, if it does have cheese on it, I don't know if I could eat a double. Is there a double hamburger? I just don't think I could. I don't think my immune system can handle it because I'm too small. You know, that's a stereotype that if you're small, you eat less. It's partly true though. When you're smaller, you don't eat as much. Maybe that's why taller people earn more, but that's a stereotype I just made up, a myth.
Monetizing their passions. Whereas in France, I know a lot of people, for example, who are very good at a skill like art, but just do that in private and will never think of monetizing anything. And this also ties up with stereotype number 9, which is that Americans are very optimistic and outgoing. And that's a thing that I had to
Only
learn
handful.
here in the US because it's not in my culture, but now I really love small talk. I love how positive people are, and I've already talked about it in the other video I made about the US, but that's something that makes daily life a bit nicer. And honestly, I feel like this outgoing energy.
But I digress myself into insanity, right? And I mean, that's your choice there if you want to go there. Yeah, exactly, Dumbo. Exactly. You know? I didn't want to say anything because I know Darren has to go to bed. Before I drop more marbles, good night, everyone. And it's been a fun stream. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Darren. I hope you sleep well. So, yeah, this is you, Dumbo, at the moment here.
Reflected everywhere, which leads me to my next stereotype that everything is big in the US. This one, coming from a European perspective, is entirely true.
It
The
is.
highways are massive, the cars are very big, the portion sizes are massive, although now I'm used to it.
This is true, though.
Coming from a European perspective is entirely true. The highways
It's
are
not always a
massive,
bad. It's not always a bad stereotype, though. So basically, average size of cars in Europe, that is their cars. Wait, hold on. The stream froze. Oh my Buddha, their cars are much small. Yes, I mean not everyone has trucks though, but a lot of us do. At least out here, in my state, we like at least in the Mexican culture, have a lot of trucks. But golly, it's incredible of how there's a difference. This is like one of my favorite videos that I've seen on YouTube. And American being optimistic, every person in America is miserable. Yeah, that's the fuck is she talking about? Basically, Dumbo, what she's trying to say is that she's talking about the stereotypes that we have in our country, right? Like she's saying that a lot of people thinking that we're outgoing, but she's telling the truth that a ton of us aren't, right? Or that a lot of people thinking that from Europe and like in her country that we only eat fast food, which is totally not true though. We love fast food just like anyone else, you know, but we have our own like unique like restaurants and whatnot. That's what she's basically sharing, you know. I should explain that better. And until 9/11, a passport was not required to visit Mexico or Canada. Really? So when I was like 5 or 6 before 9/11, my mother and I didn't have to worry about a passport. Wow. Oh my Buddha, I didn't do that. That's crazy. I didn't knew that. I live on the coast of South Carolina. We are ranked 40th out of 50, so 39 states are bigger. Yet I could drive over 4 hours and still be in South Carolina. Really? What? But South Carolina is small. In my state, oh wait, because we're in Phoenix, right? Yeah, that's right. Because if we drive here to Tucson, that's 2 hours. So Dion, let's see. All right, well, yet again, Tucson's on the border. So from the border to here, it'll take like 5 hours. Oh god, our state is big. It'll take us like 12 hours just to drive from like the border. Oh god, our state is huge. I mean, we are the 6th largest state, but oh god, yeah, we are big. I mean, we are the size of Italy after all, but we're wide. Oh god, it's kind of weird to think about it. It may seem small, but our state may not seem that big, but it is. It's the wide, it's the width that tricks us because I forgot. Yeah, from here to Tucson, it is a far drive though, but that's here in Phoenix though. Flagstaff, that's like 2.5 hours. So 2.5 hours, and then another 2.5 hours, and then the border is like 5.5 hours. Okay, maybe not 12 hours. This person says in South Carolina he could drive over 4 hours. That's interesting. Really, South Carolina? But South Carolina is kind of small. What? I mean, depending on how fast you drive. That's weird, though. How does that work? Because South Carolina is small. How would it take them 4 hours, though? Unless depending on that's really interesting. Like in Tennessee, oh yeah, Tennessee is really like wide. We're not that wide. We're more narrow though. That's really weird. I'm trying to think because from here to Flagstaff is 2.5 hours, but Flagstaff isn't like up north. So Dion, let's see. I think up to Page would probably take like an hour and a half, so that's like 4 hours. So like 7 hours maybe. Weird. Yeah, it's so interesting. And that's a small car, isn't it, Dumbbell? And I think Japan also they do have small cars. Because Japan, they tend to have like small roads. So that's why they look like that. And it could also take longer when there's traffic. That's true. That's true. That's true, actually. So I get what she's talking about.
Are very big. The portion sizes are massive, although now I'm used to it and I really like it. And one thing that's for sure massive in the US is the distances.
So interesting. Oh wait, this is by plane, not by car. So
this is such a big country, and recently I crossed it from New York to SF by train, and it took me 3 days. I also made a video about my thoughts, and I think you should watch it next. I'll see you there.
Her videos are awesome, actually. She does a good job, literally. I would love to do stuff like this. It's really fun to learn about. Wait, France banned Cheetos? You serious? Why? Probably because it's unhealthy. So Parisians live in tiny apartments? I didn't know that. So she has how many subs? 145,000. One of them only got the food ban is like for least viewed. I don't know why. I thought that's interesting. So I think France has small roads. They do. They really do them, but you'd be surprised. Even though in our country though, we have small roads, like depending on the state, like in like around like upstate New York, their roads tend to be small. You know, like compared to here in my state, our roads are so wide. And as a German, my mother told me that Kellogg's and the like were unhealthy back in the 70s. I still eat oatmeal with fresh fruit today. Interesting. I live in the American South. Buying bread without what does that mean? Additives is expensive, and the shelf life is a day or two only. The store I can buy it's from a drive. Huh? Ditto for quality cheese and imported chocolate. I think so many Americans would appreciate having better quality foods at a reasonable price and in closer proximity. But some of us really are stuck with whatever the closest store, right?
American snack, but apparently they're also potentially carcinogenic and even illegal in France where I live because of their
they could like that bag of M&Ms could cause cancer. Didn't know that. Your videos are really interesting. Hush, mamas. Yeah, my mother's supposed to be back soon. I would have gone near the room, but well, Autumn is in here, so she's not gonna leave, and It's probably my mother, I think. Yep, it has to be. Okay, because my aunt dropped her off. I know, and there, Dumbo, I'm actually playing it right now. I mean, the reason why they banned those M&Ms that she was holding is because they cause cancer for some odd reason. So that's why.
Those ingredients. Like, seriously, if you look at those news articles about harmful American products, you wouldn't really expect that they're just talking about candy. It turns out that M&Ms and a lot of colorful American snacks are technically banned in Europe because of the
Mama.
dyes that make.
Do I need to write you Do I need to write you another grocery list?
Yeah, you do that. That Friday.
All right. Because I know I've been sucking those Tostitos because Tono, he ate my my spaghetti dinner.
Yeah, I told you.
I mean, I figured, well, he needs it more than I do anyway.
No.
Wait, hold on, Dumbbell. Hold on. All right, sorry about that, Dumbbell. Ugh. But yeah, my aunt basically, well, my mother had to pay my aunt back later because since we were kind of like low on food supplies, as embarrassing as it is. Wait, did the live stream? Oh, I thought the live stream froze. She had to take a picture of the. It was like a burrito meal that she could microwave, so she'll have to pay her back later. And I don't know why your comment got blocked. Hopefully the live stream is working. Because it's stuck. Okay, I see it. I see it moving just now. And I did not know M&Ms are that unhealthy. I know, same here. You know, usually they're loved nationwide.
So right, obviously I'm not a food scientist, so I'm using this app called Yuka to scan the barcodes of these potentially banned foods and tell me what's going on. So the exact issue with this particular pack of M&Ms is called Yellow 5, and you probably guessed it, it's a yellow dye, and it's not really good news because it's suspected to contribute to hyperactivity in children. And here, if you're
So
like
you-
your prop,
You love my room, don't you, mamas? Don't you, mamas? Moses, 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 Moses. Sorry about that demo, because Bella's in here. Yeah. The stream is working. That's good. You know, it's like a couple minutes behind, but I see the time moving. The reason they're in here because they can smell food that I eat. All right, I'm gonna close the door. Excuse me.
Wondering why do we need this bad stuff in our food? And for that, we have to look together at Fruit Loops.
I love
And
Fruit
in
Loops.
particular, this ingredient comparison. The first thing you notice is that there's way more ingredients in the US version, and a lot of the bad ones in red are the food dyes we talked about, but there's also BHT, which is potentially carcinogenic. And meanwhile, if you look at the European version, it uses natural dyes like
Right.
carrots, cherries, and radishes. And you know, these are all very reassuring words to read when you're buying cereal and almost makes you disregard the sugar content. But if we look at what's inside the box, I have to say that the
Ew. Yeah, yours looks like it's expired. Yuck. I know this must be healthy, but it's kind of ironic because I grew up my life eating Fruit Loops. You know, I know a lot of people tend to thinking our food's unhealthy and all, but what the hell am I looking at? Honestly, yeah, you saw. Oh, yeah, that was Bella in the background. Oh, but it's back on my pillow. She likes being in here, I think. And yeah, again, I gotta watch more of the video though. Both Fruit Loops and Cheetos are gross. I don't like hot Cheetos. I do like. Oh, I used to like Cheetos, but not as much though. The whole American food industry is messed up. As just a casual glance at obesity and cancer rates, yeah, that's true though. My beef stew at Galleries on Ile de la France tasted so much better and cleaner, more robust than what we have here. Right. And more products are banned in the US from Europe. The game with dyes and banning. What's that? What the hell is that? You mean like hair dye? And again, I did. The problem with the let people decide for themselves approach is without regulations, dangerous products fill grocery store shelves, and then deciding not to not eat crap becomes extremely difficult. Take this simple sample of Cheerios shown. A German mother can go to the cereal aisle, pick up a box, and on a busy morning serve that to her children with relative peace of mind. While an American mother would have to decide to not pick up the box of Cheerios, and then she has to come up with a more labor-intensive option and explain to her children why they can't eat Cheerios while they're what? Really? Even fresh products are problematic. If we decide that we don't want to eat hormone-pumped meats, we need to give up meat or raise our own cattle, right? And I agree more with the European approach. If we agree that harmful ingredients should be banned, an ingredient that could be harmful and even dangerous should be treated as such, right? Interesting. Wow. Yeah, same here, Dumbo, honestly. And to me, food color. Yeah, food color dye. Gotcha. Okay.
Version looks so sad compared to the American version. So yeah, that's one of the many reasons why we have those additives is to make foods more attractive to consumers in a way, and obviously increase profit. And let me tell you, there's no better example of that than the next food we're going to talk about. And by the way, you might think you're safe if you're not eating processed foods, but that's not fully the case, and I'll tell you why in a bit. But I need to tell you about the most controversial food of them all, which is Flamin' Hot
I'm not
Cheetos.
a fan of those.
So Flaming Hot Cheetos are so fascinating to me. First, because I've never had them and they have almost a cult following, but also because they're at the center of a controversy that sums up the whole issue with banned foods pretty well. So yeah, a lot of people are calling out Flaming Hot Cheetos for the ingredients that are very, very bad for you, and also for being very addictive. Like, apparently once you try them, you just can't stop eating them. So as I was telling you, I've never had Flaming Hot Cheetos. That's just not a thing in France. So, you know, I just want to speak for myself and try them.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, just looking at this, it smells and looks like there's going to be banned additives in it. Oh, wow. It is spicy. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's hot. It's really hot.
Wow, this is the most intense shit I've ever tried. And I understand why people are addicted to it. It is pretty good, but as someone who never eats processed food, it just tastes like the banned ingredients. And I think if I had kids, I wouldn't want them to eat this. And I understand why parents are freaking out and don't want them in schools in the US. And just to be clear, them being addicted is not the only issue. My app rates them a 2 out of 100, and they have even more food diets that are controversial and linked to many issues like attention disorders, cancer,
Really?
and other diseases.
Attention disorders.
That is why California actually passed a law to ban flaming hot Cheetos and other foods like that
Really? California? That's incredible. I mean, I think, you know what? I'm not really a fan of it. I think it'd be pretty cool if they banned it. I mean, I don't care, but hey, if it makes people live healthier, then there's no harm. Oh, dumbbell, let's just say it's like if you're eating like a hot spice. I can't explain it. Like eat something that's really burning your tongue. That's how it tastes. I just prefer the original Cheetos, not hot Cheetos. Ugh.
in those controversial food diets. And this is all great and all, but as a European, I had to do a double take. And my main question was like, why would schools even serve flaming hot Cheetos in the first place? I personally don't need a law to see that these are not good for you. So here I did what I usually do when I don't understand an American thing. I just asked my American boyfriend.
He's cute. Yeah, Bobby, huh? They're a cute couple, actually.
Who's from Chicago, and our conversation was very eye-opening and went like this. Question for you: why would junk food be sold in schools? I saw a law banning flaming hot Cheetos.
What do you mean? It's food. We used to have vending machines in our
Yeah, true.
Shows how different the mindsets are in the US and in the EU. Like my first idea was just like, let's just ban this. Like, why is this not banned? We have to ban. Whereas Bobby feels like it's more a question of personal choice. I grew up with the idea that if there's a chance that something might be bad, we should ban it until it's proven safe. And that's what's called the precautionary principle, which is a big pillar of European regulations and the philosophy behind why so many things are banned in the EU. In the US, it's the opposite. Food additives are usually allowed until they're proven to be harmful at the levels people
Mm-hmm.
And the mindset is more like, hey, it's your choice. You can decide if you want to take the risk. Here it puts the responsibility on the individual, which is great in theory. Everyone should be entitled to making their choices. Like, even though I eat mostly fresh food, I do enjoy some processed foods from time to time. And I'm not saying we should ban every processed food. But the reality is usually proving something is bad actually takes forever. And it's really hard to link a specific disease to a specific food. And, by the time it's proven, the harm is already done. And the difference between these two mindsets is why the US allows more than 10,000 additives and the EU around 300.
Huh.
This doesn't mean that the additives allowed in the EU are not controversial. And I'll tell you a bit more about that in a bit. But first, I can't talk about controversial additives.
Mountain Dew? Oh,
Dew.
boy.
And before we move forward, I wanted to thank today's sponsors, Skullshake.
Oh, my brother used to like that.
And just so you know, it's actually super easy to call out some brands. Both resources I've used to research the
Let's see.
from separating. And it was just banned by the FDA in 2000.
You don't like Cheetos at all? I don't blame you, Dumbo. I don't. Honestly. It sucks that I think your message is like 4 minutes late. Yeah, my MacBook is acting up. I might need to switch over to Tab, though. I'm going to trade that. Hold on. Because I know it is getting late for you as well. I'm going to try to switch over. It's going to lag a lot, but since you're the only one that's here, that's fine. I mean, I'm going to try to see if I can get this tab opened.
Which is really great news, but also comes a bit late since the EU has banned it since 2008. And by the way, if you're like me and you're just wondering why the companies are not removing the bad ingredients, well, the reason is that they don't really have a strong enough incentive to do so unless we stop buying their products or the EU or the FDA forces them to remove some additives, because it's actually very expensive to change the recipe of a product. Like if we come back to the M&Ms, they used to contain something called titanium dioxide, which apparently is used to make candies shiny and also is suspected to be carcinogenic. While this ingredient was banned in 2020 in the EU, M&M's was forced to change the recipe, and apparently it cost them 44 million euros to do so and 4,000 hours of work. And also keep in mind that in terms of bad additives, the quantity you consume actually plays a big role. Like for Mountain Dew, most of the health issues people were having actually came from extreme cases where people drank gallons of Mountain Dew every single day, which, you know, is another issue. I'm no doctor, but I do know that consuming gallons of sugary drinks every day is not good for you. And, you know, if you're thinking you're safe because you don't drink gallons of soda and a ton of candy every single day, just know that there's American whole foods and natural products that are also banned in the EU, like eggs. If you're
Eggs, huh?
Trainer, look at her using pull-ups training pants just like undies.
And if accidents happen, pull-ups back her up. So every day is a big flush forward.
I'm so proud.
Turd, you old softy. I'm a big
That's cute.
you know that you have to keep your eggs in the fridge. But actually, when you shop for eggs in the EU, it kind of looks like this. Like here I am at my local shop and eggs are not refrigerated.
Oh,
They're
dear.
on a random shelf. And it's because US eggs are actually washed in the US,
Yep.
which kind of destroys a protective coating that's on the shell of the egg.
Hmm.
And once this coating is gone, the eggs are more vulnerable to bacteria and they do need to be refrigerated. In the EU, the eggs are not washed, so it's pretty common to see the eggs with poops or feathers. And once again, I find that interesting because what's considered safe varies so much from country to country. Like, for example, American chicken is washed with chlorine, which apparently is to
Chlorine?
protect the consumer from salmonella, but this is actually not allowed in the EU. And it's not only chicken, American beef, or any kind of meat that has been treated with hormones is banned in the EU since 1981. So you can only import hormone-free beef to Europe. And that's one of the reasons why McDonald's actually uses French beef in France. Now let's talk about a food that most of us consume pretty regularly, which is apples. Apples are with a ton of pesticides everywhere, but there's one in particular that has been banned in the EU since 2014 and is found in 80% of apples in the US. It prevents apples from developing black patches, and the EU here is calling for more research to be done on it before they allow it because it could potentially cause cancer under certain conditions. Anyways, a bit of nuance. Here's the I bought both the M&Ms and the Flaming Hot Cheetos in France fully legally, even though they contain all these bad additives. And the reason why is because not bad ingredients are totally banned in the EU. Actually, a lot of them are more restricted, which means that in this exact example, you can use them, but you do need to include a warning on the label. Like here it says in French, may have adverse effects on activity and attention in children. But there's also a
Dumbo, are you still here? Because I noticed you haven't typed in 5 minutes unless my MacBook is something up.
and the Environmental Working Group, which were my main sources for this video.
Oh, good. Okay, your message popped up. Is she saying that they ban apples? They didn't. It's just that I'm guessing the apples that we have here is like not like catered properly, I believe, because they're supposed to like grow black or kind of moldy like, but us Americans don't have that. I think I'm not sure exactly.
And that are allowed in the EU in limited quantities. So it's not just black and white. Like we're kind of in a the dose makes the poison type of situation. And it's not as simple as saying this food is banned, so it's bad, this food is allowed, so it's safe. It is a complicated topic. As consumers, there's a lot we don't understand. And obviously what the EU and the US think is safe can be influenced by many things, including, as I've told you, what we think as consumers, but also other stuff I won't get into, like policy or lobbying. So
that's really interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. Because I think because the thing is, like, Europeans have to eat like more like towards homemade food, which is why they're not as known for being like as obese as us Americans. So that's why it actually makes sense. You know, at least that's how I see it, so to speak.
Now, by the time you see this video, it will be November, but when we shot it,
Oh, so just like an Italian channel, huh? Now you're here. That's good. Yeah, yeah. I'm so sorry because the video just ended it, and I was just seeing something else out of curiosity. I could step away from these channels that do with like traveling and foods because they give me ideas. But yeah, it's an interesting channel that she has because she's French, right? And she lives here in the U.S. because her boyfriend's from Chicago, and that's basically what she does. She's been on YouTube for 3 years. We got a video that got over 1 million. 12 things not to do in Paris. Oh wow, that's something. Oh gosh, she's been on here for a long time. Wow. Yeah, she is French, all right, which is awesome because I love French. I would never guess she's Mexican. I could tell she's French. Maybe the nose just kind of gives it away. She does some interesting videos, I gotta admit. Filipino food for 24 hours? Oh, that sounds interesting. And what I like about her is they're not like clickbait. You know, they're not like crazy thumbnails. They're like what you would expect to see. It's my pleasure, Dumba, for sharing it. You know, like her demos are really unique. You know, compared to other channels that I've seen that bugs me. You know, I can't stand those tights. Oh man, if I can visit France again, I'll make sure I'll keep these videos in mind. She went to Japan? Wow. She went to Finland? She went to a Finnish sauna. Oh, you're kidding. Wow. Oh my Buddha, she travels. I gotta stop because I would love to do videos like this so badly. Oh, why are the French so rude? Yeah, I gotta keep that in mind later. Is life better in the US or Europe? It depends on the person. You know, like I don't think I can see myself living. I mean, I would probably stay there for a while, but I can't imagine myself living in France. You know, I want to just live here in our country. So that's one thing. I heard some countries have banned Ritz. Are you serious? Ritz crackers? That's nuts.
In the US and
It's just crackers though. That's ridiculous. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
same goes for the U.S. Like, the U.S. is a massive country. Like, I grew up in Chicago, but we both lived in New York, and I've been to like 35 states, and I can tell you that depending on the state that you go to, it's very different.
Anyway, let's get into our debate for cheese combo and see if we agree. By the way, these are just our personal opinions. So if you want to share yours, just leave us a comment on this. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is food. That's the thing that often comes up. Everyone is like, food is so much better in Iran.
The food is way more fresh. Like in the U.S., you have foods made for many people, but in France, you have foods from like tiny towns, for example.
And I
That's
feel
true.
like one thing people do too is they tend to really oppose like processed US food and then the tiny little artisan food of Europe. But one thing I love in the US and particularly in New York is how much authentic food there is from every country in the world.
Those dumplings, I need to do. I gotta do more videos like this because I see why people get more engaged for seeing visuals because I like seeing them too. But like hearing them talk, you know, nothing crazy. I gotta do that more often. It just sucks that my MacBook isn't capable You know, I'll try though, but I'm not gonna push my body too much.
For example, last year I went to Queens with our friend Abe, and he showed us the most authentic Indonesian food. Like everyone there was Indonesian, everyone
You
there knew each other, and it really felt like I was in Indonesia. You don't
Yeah, it's like that here in like when me and Casey, I wonder if I still have that video. We went to that Mexican restaurant. Oh man, like there were literally Mexicans there, right? And the waitress, she was so sweet, you know, because we wanted to sit somewhere. It wasn't even like crowded. It's only like a handful of people, like maybe like 5 people or something, right? And she gave us like 3 appetizers, which are that's what I like about Mexicans, honestly, because they really love their chips, right? In a different way. It's like those like the one I was eating earlier that my brother bought. Like it's like Tostitos, right? And then you got like dip. It's like a what is it called? An appetizer. And that's what I like about that restaurant, you know, because we get free food for free, right? And of course we'll be paying. But the thing is, even though if we may pay more, it's kind of nice that we don't have to pay for those, which is such a neat touch. Honestly, that's what I like about some Mexican restaurants.
that in Europe. Okay, before we get into the deep stuff, I think we should eat the cheese. So one thing I love about this cheese is not only it's super delicious,
Yeah.
but also going to this cheese shop was only a 5-minute walk from our house. Especially in Paris and in a lot of European cities, I love how dense things are and how walkable things are.
True.
Like, it takes us literally 15 minutes to go from place to place here.
Well, that's one
That's
of the
the
coolest
fact.
parts about Paris is you can walk for an hour, and every single place you go, like every street has something on it. Like there's some cool cheese store, there's some cool shop.
And I feel this is
Mhm.
like that in most of Europe as well.
Yeah, I do envy about that in Europe as well.
You go, like every street has something on it. Like there's some cool cheese store, there's some cool shop.
And I feel this is like that in most of Europe as well. There's a lot of walkable places. Public transport is really good. I think that's a thing that's not as big in the US in places like that are not New York.
Well, I think it depends because
Like we do need a car though, but you know there are places that you can visit. It's just oh crap.
there's a pretty good transportation culture, but I think it's when you like start to travel to different cities. Like there's no chance that you could take the Amtrak, for example, from Chicago to say Cleveland. You could, but it would take just as long to drive. So why would you drive?
Yeah.
It might even take longer.
Yeah, and we actually crossed the US by train a year ago. And it took us like 3 days, I think. We went from Chicago to San Francisco.
And Dumbo, I'm so sorry. Yeah, go ahead and go to bed. I hope you sleep well. Sorry if you can't hear me. Yeah, I had a feeling it'd be late for you.
The flight is like 4 hours, but Amtrak is more of an experience.
Mhm.
Whereas in Europe, you have all these trains like going from city to city. Like 2 weekends ago, I was in Belgium visiting a friend, and it was an hour and a half from my home.
Yeah, like that's crazy. That's so
Great,
insane
I'm
that you
getting
can
my
go to another country in such a quick time. 90 minutes to go to Belgium. It's you could just go there for fries, you know?
Which you did in one of your videos.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
And that's also another thing I want your opinion on. I feel like in Europe, we're so used to having people from many different cultures. Like growing up, there was always like lost German tourists, a random Italian man walking the streets of my hometown, not knowing how to speak a word of French or English, just like sign stuff to each other and be really used to not understand.
But yeah, Dumbo, feel free to go to bed, honestly. I don't know why I said for viewers in here. Yeah, I had a feeling the time's delayed. I'm so sorry about that. My MacBook is something up.
Each other, but things were alright. I feel in the US, this is not as much.
Wow, so that's all the US states that don't share a border. Yeah, like the one that she shared before. It's incredible.
Then you guys are pretty isolated, and also it's such a big country. That
You know,
many
you know Tostitos, Dumbo, right?
differences are less apparent than in
It really depends on where you go. For example, when we lived in New York, like there was many cultures all around us,
Mhm.
right? Because we lived
Yeah.
in Chinatown, but the people downstairs were all from Mexico.
Right.
But I do think that when you live in the US, you're kind of expected to speak English if you're
Mhm.
participating in society.
It makes sense. Most languages spoken for American citizens. Chinese is 3.5 million. We're Spanish. For the 1 million? Wow, Korean's high. 1 million. French, though, 1 million? Oh my goodness, 1.2? I know Tagalog would be high. German, now. Oh my goodness.
Whereas in Europe, you might have like that random Italian dude because he just got off the train that took 4 hours
Yeah.
to get to France,
Yeah.
right?
I do remember, so I was doing a road trip, and I was in the middle of rural Colorado, actually. I was with my friend who is French.